are live. Hopefully it should start very soon.
Yeah, the stream is up and running. Yeah, it's open better now.
Alright, hopefully we'll just do a quick audio check as well and see if... Yeah, I think I'm audible as well, so hopefully the stream quality is also fine for our viewers. As if you want, Shrikant, you can post a link back on...
Yeah, I did post a link. Yeah, we are up and running. And yeah, so we are in the perfect territory for the quali because it's the final run and everyone will be looking to improve their time. With VFix and Redstone separated by only 100th, not 100th, a few thousands.
Yeah, 13 thousandths of a second.
You never know this.
Yeah, V6. I think there isn't any driver. Okay, Jishnu should be the next driver crossing the line. I think and gets a bit squirrely out of shape at the final corner and yet again. And that is just going to spoil his momentum if he would have wanted to do another lap. But that would have cost him in terms of his start. But let's follow other drivers. There is a Ferrari of Yash Kosalia who's also going to probably start a lap. So I think Shadow Sword is up on his time and he retires.
And he also
that might just have hampered
Redstone's lap.
So but he had probably already invalidated there. So let's see. But Tanesh should be the next driver, and he is held up by.
And he is held up by the Williams of Baz.
No, it's Viper Speed. I think both of them had pretty much decided to go into the pit. Let's see if you
So now we have VFix in near the swimming pool chicane. He takes it up quite nicely and he almost loses it on the stroll curb. And he almost trolled us.
And so he decides to pit. To the pit and Jishnu has invalidated his lap. There's a
he can gain a little bit of time, 100th. He will do anything. And Redstone loses it. Loses his race again. And Abhishek also loses it. So this is qualifying over for everyone.
Yeah, but I think Abhishek had invalidated.
Yeah, he invalidated and
That is, pretty much the end of qualifying. V6 and Redstone, 13,000 separating the two drivers. So that is going to be an interesting fight, and it's more about keeping your strategy and heavier car.
Trying to retire, but he can't. So the field that is way too much spaced out, as we saw in too much for gap. So going through the quali order, so we have VFix Cutter taking pole for Ferrari. Then we have Redstone, the P2. Then we have Viom, P3. Yash Gosalia, P4. Abhishek, P5. He messed his last run. Then we have Baz, P6. Then we have Chip Streamer, P7, who is always doing his race runs. Jishnu, P8, who messed up his last run. Then we have TBK, P9. Viper Speed, P10, Shadow Sword, P11, URL Ethan and Azun, not setting representative times. And so does Shadow Sword. To be fair, Ethan just set a time on Inters. Why do you think he did that? Or is he following Azun's path?
Or is he giving us signs of rain being there in the race? You never know. But we will
you never know. Wet Monaco. Yesterday we had the last bit of a race and it was way too exciting. And we have Harsh in the chat saying top 2 dominating the quali by a different level. Yes, they are dominating a quali by a separate level, like a second faster than the rest of the field. So what do you think the strategy will be? Easy.
I think it should be an easy medium to hard, straightforward strategy, one stop. Hopefully not collect your front wings anywhere, but then that might just alter your strategies.
Do you, do you think like drivers might be hoping for a soft hards? Like if they are gambling, if they break their wing in the first and they can easily get rid of the soft and pit on the hards and take it to the end. Do you think they might go on soft or go for a two stopper? As we saw several drivers yesterday going two stoppers.
Well, personally, going on the soft side, banking on breaking your front wing is not the my ideal way to go for a strategy. And plus, it's a
See,
difficult
I
track
have
to
seen drivers
overtake.
doing that.
Yep, and let's see
Yes.
if we have any interesting tire choices for drivers around here. Yes, we have Azun as usually on a set of soft tires starting at the back of the field. And
That is typical Azun.
yep, indeed, while a majority of the field except Shadow, Jishtu, and as well, and at Monaco being a track very hard to overtake, so you can, if whoever has the lead can definitely control the pace of the pack. But let's find out what happens or what 39 laps of racing have in store for us. I
So
think
we have
safety car is just
so we
non-existent for Monaco.
yeah, they are non-existent. And then we have two
Oh,
guys disqualified. Shadow Sword and TBK going way too close.
and Vyom
And TBK
also.
doing burnouts. What are these guys doing? Just and we
Alright.
have VFX doing burnouts. So is Redstone. They are warming up their rear tires to get a good start. So, so what's the prediction for your podium? Easy level.
I think I'm going to go for VFix, Redstone, and Abhishek. But as we
Yeah,
are ready to go underway, Shrikant, why don't you take us to the race start?
yeah. So it's give me a good angle, please. And it's five lights and lights out, and away we go. And we have VFX leading into turn one. Redstone didn't get a good start. He's under attack from Viom. Then we have Yash. Then we have position changes happening. There's a Ghoster Williams of Baz and Abhishek's going side by
Oh,
side, and
and
Abhishek's DNS. He's side by side. His tire just came off, and it's not a safety car. Typical Monaco. Then we have Redstone trying to attack VFX. Then the top three are pretty close. Then we have Yash Gosalia, who's pretty spaced out, and then we have Basil. We have position changes from Ethan and Viper Speed. There's a no wing car off. Chips team, I think Chips and Abhishek had a contact. That's why, and it's Viper Speed also. Okay, it was a chaotic start for the Monaco GP, and then we have Shadow Sword Jishnu too close, and they are in the tunnel. They can't do anything. Then we have uh, position changes
oh,
between Azun and Viper Speed. They are going side by side in tunnel. There's not that space. And who's that? Ethan. Is Ethan having damage? I can't see, but I think he is having damage. Did cut the
and
chicane, and we
Vyom.
have TNS. He parks at the Schumacher corner, the Michael one, not the Mick. But still no safety car. This game is ridiculous. Then we have VFX leading the first lap. Then we have Redstone. And we have several guys in the pits. We have Jishnu Chips in the pits changing their wings. And they are going for the what? They are going for mediums. And Chips is going for he's going for the odds. I think he's betting on a one stopper and he's trying to go to the end. And Jishnu is going for the two stopper. Then we have Azun gaining 8 positions on his and he's stuck behind Ethan. What is Ethan doing? Is he having it? Okay, his right end plate is missing and he almost Azun almost rear ends Ethan. And then we have the top two, Redstone and VFix in their own league. They have gapped Yash by 3.7. What is this?
But
Man,
Redstone comes
this is
ex- too close to VFX at that novel chicane, so he is really pushing his limits into the car, and VFX easily controlling the pace. And after this lap, DRS would also be enabled, so it'll be interesting to see if Redstone can get any kind of exit Meanwhile, Basel,
And there's
TBK.
Baz and TBK. Baz and TBK, they are abusing the curbs way too much, and we have Harsh in the chat saying the Red Bull curse in lap one. Yes, the Red Bulls are not having a good luck. Just they will bounce back stronger, I assure you. And Basil is catching up to Yash Gosalia. And remember, last time out there, Baz and Yash had a moment, and which costed Baz a podium. To be honest, so they are fighting for the podium again. You never know. And we have position changes between Ethan. Ethan in the pits. I think his wing just gave up. He can't drive without an end plate. Nobody can. So we have Redstone and VFix in there only. They have gained another second on Yash. What are they doing? What are they doing? What in the Lewis
Oh,
Hamilton Max
and
Verstappen
Yash
shit?
probably clips a bit
Yash,
of
yeah.
the
And
wall
he is
there.
cutting the corners way too much, which is pretty risky to be honest, because you can get Strolled or Leclerc. So he is 6 seconds behind. Oh my god. The two of them are in their own league. 6 seconds and 4 laps. Then we have. Okay, this is the closest battle after VFix and Redstone. No, this is the closest battle. They are close. Way too much. So, do you think there is rain inbound for this race? Or if it is inbound, then what do you
Well,
think?
you
If the hard runners will benefit from this?
well, if there is rain towards the start end of the race, so they would definitely better. I mean, benefit from that and probably go directly on a set of intermediates as like the race probably yesterday. It got pretty interesting towards the final few laps where there was just a downpour and the
Okay,
track
Redstone
got
and
greasy.
VFX, they are too close. They are a tenth apart from each other. And then Redstone, I think he lost his drive around the corner and he misses his exit. And VFX gets a better exit than Redstone in the final corner, and he gains a 4 tenths out of that. Then we
And
have.
Basel also trying to get a better exit, but rather gets out of shape there.
And we have Azun and Shadow Sword. Azun with the soft test and Shadow with the hard test. Do you think Azun can make a move? Because we saw a move yesterday from a Williams on an Alfa Romeo in the main straight. So do you think a move is inbound?
Well, a move if 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 the driver makes a mistake ahead, that's where the chances get rather easy. But otherwise, you just have to take a whole lot of risk and put your elbows out if you really want to make that
And
move. And
Redstone cuts the chicane after the tunnel. What's that chicane called? I don't know, but he cut it off. I think he got a warning for that. You never know. I think Redstone is on his second warning. If he abuses the track limits that much, he's getting a penalty, which might not be good for him. But okay, Redstone and VFix has lapped Yash Gosalia by 8 seconds, and TBK gets a 3 second penalty for track extension. And we have Azun. Shadow is ghosted. I think what? Shadow was ghosted for me. I don't know. This game is just horrible. You never know what's happening around here. So, do you think Azun is going for the soft to hard strategy, or is he aiming for a two stopper, soft, medium, soft?
well, I think you have to rather play a strategy game here since overtaking on track is very difficult. So I would definitely would
Yeah,
want to go for a one stopper, but otherwise it's all about sometimes you can be on the faster tire and close up, but even after you close up, you there is literally barely any room to overtake unless the driver ahead makes a mistake. But uh,
yeah.
Redstone and VFix,
Thanks.
rather
Well,
Redstone following
yes.
VFix very well there, and this time is he closer than he was on the last few occasions, but he's still that corner comes in rather too early for Redstone, and Basel also just maintaining his pace behind Yash Kosalia. So that's those are the two pairs of battles that we have up front. Meanwhile, Tanesh and alright. So Shadow Sword lets Azul by.
And did he let him by or was called? Oh,
Alright,
what?
I
What
can
did
I
I
can
just? Azun just glitched for me.
I don't know, yeah, and I can barely hear
I
you.
think.
So I think it's your internet probably that
Okay, I
is.
think my internet is messed up. Yeah.
Meanwhile, Chip Schema and Ethan are also involved in a battle. Chip Schema right now, the driver ahead, and let's see how
Yep.
long that will be. As Redstone has DNF from the race, and where is that? I think that is
No,
the swimming
Redstone.
pool chicane. Yes, he has lost his car. So two of my podium predictors are out of the race. So that's interesting,
Uh,
but and there might
he
just
just
not
did
be any
a
safety car.
commentator's curse on them.
Yep, a heavy curse. And Jishnu has also
And also
retired from the
retires.
session.
Jishnu also retires. He
Oh,
also like he mounted the the chicane and God, which is most okay. So
oh,
already have 4 DX and no safety car and
oh, Ethan just losing his car, but comes has to lift off there around the swimming pool chicane corners, or rather the chicane, because he came so close to the Alfa Romeo ahead. So Ethan definitely having a lot of pace there, but is stuck behind the schema. Meanwhile, URL Basel and Yash Prasad are the only closest battle now.
uh,
V6 just needs to manage his pace and
we have
not
Gypsy
accumulate.
Man Ethan. They are pretty close. They are 4 tenths apart from each other. They are on similar tires, 5 lap old hards and 6 lap old hards. So it's the best driver who will take the P7. Okay, Harsh is saying by this pace, podium sitters will be the only survivor. I don't think. Okay, we have a yellow flag. Who's that for? Sector 3. Don't know. What was that for? Okay. So it's is like he will just cruise around because his rival is just crashed. Uh, Monaco is not being lenient to any driver, so we have only VFix, Yash, Baz, TBK, Azun, Shadow, Chips, Ethan, and Viper in the race, and we have Ethan, Chips, and Viper speed bits. Speed bits.
Oh, and was there? Oh, I thought there was another.
Okay, he pits for another of mediums. Is he going for a medium so now?
Shrikant, I can barely hear you.
Okay. Okay.
Anyway, it's so. Oh, okay. Azun is also in the pits after 8 laps on those 8 laps, or rather 9 laps on those soft tires. Meanwhile, Basel is still following suit. It's a Ferrari 1-2 right now. Meanwhile, so if all these drivers just keep holding their positions, and I think there can be a lot of position changes that might just happen in the pit lane, but these drivers are fairly spaced out apart with V6 almost. I mean, even if he boxes, he's just going to come out P3. So that's not a lot of sign of worry for him, as you are an Ethan would definitely want to undercut Chip's schema at some point of in this race, uh, because Chips might just be able to finish ahead of him if the, if he continues to take these hard tires through to the end, which I believe would be a difficult task and might just invite punches or loss of traction, which might make you lose positions. But URL Ethan is very close and comes rather very close at the chicane. He needs to really line his exit at the final corner, which he probably does, and I think this time he is closer than ever, and the game decides to not give a good camera angle, but Tiskima still holds his position, and URL Brazil has fallen back a bit to Yash Kosalia, and while Azun also in P6, so having Ethan almost kissing the rares of Chip Schema there. So let's and there's a yellow flag and White Speed has retired from the session, and is that in the pit? It looks like it's in the pit, so or is it in the start finish straight? You are literally pushing this schema along a few corners there. But I think there's a Mercedes that's going to cross of a zone, so we'll find out. Oh, that probably was on the track, I think. And no safety car yet again, so Ethan has to take avoiding action yet again to not run behind Chipkima, but this is probably his chances to be able to make a move on Chipkima, but the corner comes in rather too early for him, and he might just be really frustrated in that helmet, under that helmet rather. But again, almost I think this is the only battle to watch out for. So exclusive screen time for you folks there, as you are and Ethan tries to barge his way at that hairpin, but still hasn't managed to do so. Contact between the drivers. Don't know if there is any kind of a wing damage that has occurred to any of them, but Ethan really losing his patience and losing a lot of time behind the Alfa Romeo. Shrikant, are you there with me?
I am, but this game is not letting me in. So I'm trying. I'm watching on the streams, and I can see Ethan and Chips are having a great battle in Monaco, where there are not so many battles, and they are pushing each other way harder. And I don't know what is happening right now, but from what I'm seeing, they are having a clean and fair fight.
Yep, they are. They just made some kind of contact here the previous lap, but Ethan really has that ounce, that not just an ounce, but a lot more extra pace than Chipskima does, and he really is eager to make a move. Where is the question? And he is not able to line himself up, but is this the time where he now approaching the tunnel, these two drivers, is he going to send one down the inside, Chipskima holding the middle of the track? No, he isn't, but there is a lot of contact between these two drivers, I think.
This is just hard racing.
Yep, it is,
You
and I think
cannot report it.
as long as they are not taking them each other out and are continuing in the race, so all's well. But let's see this lap around. Are things going to change for Ethan? Chip schema does seem to get that better exit there, so that hasn't.
Ethan is losing out on his exits. That's why, like, you can see from the exit of last corner and the penultimate corner, he is losing a tenth or two to Chips. Chips is just gaining a better traction out of these corners.
Yeah,
Who's
he
leading
is.
D1 championship? I think it is VFix because the points table is not updated. Am I in? Just tell me that I'm in. Yes, I am in. Let's go. And that stone, what? Okay. So
Alright. Oh, that is some
okay.
tremendous amount of car control from Ethan. So he's got his all his patience limits to the test now. Where does
As
he?
you can see, Chips got a better exit out of the final corner, but Ethan is gaining on him and his light is blinking.
Yeah, and his light
So
has
he
been
is
blinking
already
for a
out.
few laps, and that hasn't been the case at all for Chips. So I don't know where that difference is in terms of setup or straight line speed
And
for those drivers.
easy. Don't forget, some guys were hoping for a safety car, so they might have under fuel. So keep a look on the fuel meter and see how much. Okay, Ethan looks down the inside and he backs off because there's not so much space for the move, and Ethan is stuck behind Chips Chima, but it's for the last position, last, you know.
So, alright, and there is another battle that has probably unfolded now and has
And we have
folded as
no.
quickly as well.
The commentator's curse is happening way too much right now, and TBK comes in for a wing change and he goes on hards. He goes on for hards and a wing change. So still it's the closest battle. Chip Shiman and Lethan has backed off. I think his tires are overheating, that's why he has backed off. He's letting Chips Chima to go and cool his tires and attack again. So the race order is VFix and Yash. Ferrari 1-2. And we have yellow flag for TBK, I guess. I think he chipped his wing again out of the pits. Or was it something else?
That might just be unfortunate news for him.
Okay, so it is Ferrari 1-2 right now. And Baz is behind Yash Gosalia, and he's only 2 seconds behind. And he is not gaining, not losing. He's just maintaining that 2 second gap to Yash. And then we have Shadow Sword, and he almost loses his rear end, and Azun. He lost his rear end, and Azun overtakes him. So okay, the top three are a pit stop gap ahead of Azun. So this race is not turning out to be interesting. And we have Chips Team and URL Ethan again. URL Ethan. Then we have Harsh Jain. Last time Ferrari were 1-2 in Monaco, they pitted. Yes, indeed. And they both are going to pit. But I hope they don't pit at the same time. And URL Ethan almost chips his wing. Out of turn 3, and his entry is compromised. He turned in too early and almost lost his way. I can see the drivers are not like that mini straight. They are not avoiding the bump. They are just driving over it. And we have VFix and Baz in the pits. The medium runners have decided to pit, and VFix is ahead, way ahead of Baz and Azun. So unless and
That's
until
just
there's a
one
safety,
position loss for him.
yeah.
So, and he knows that Yash also has to pit and serve his mandatory pit stop. So it's just a smooth sailing for V6 as long as he keeps his car in check, as Ethan has also just fallen off a bit. Uh,
And
but
we have
he
Shadow in
does
the
catch up
pits.
pretty quickly there to the back of Chip's schema, and
Shadow
now
and
yep, Shadow Sword is in the pits, and Tanish could also
yeah,
be
he is
probably
in for
joining
a
this battle
wing
pretty
change.
soon.
Yeah, with Chip Shima holding up on old hard tires, with TBK on new hard tires, He might catch up, but you can't overtake unless and until these guys are pit. So TVK is not losing, not gaining, because he was around what 20 to 22 seconds behind the zone. If you see, so it's in 20 laps, and Ethan is backing off of chips. He is not deploying his battery, just conserving his battery and conserving his tires now. And he rear ends chips Chima. He touches his what rear right tire. That's okay. He almost loses it in the swimming pool chicane. Okay, that's pretty nasty. It could have been pretty nasty. It went pretty bad for a Red Bull driver yesterday. I don't know who that is, but it went pretty bad.
And Tanishq has
So
also
TVK
joined this
has,
battle.
yep.
And it is a
So
three-way
it's a three-way
battle.
battle, and he
And Tanishq
tries to
almost,
drive the one inside.
yep, he
Okay, it
does.
was an opportunistic move from him, but you have the pace, TVK. You just need to have patience and let them pit. Don't sacrifice your wing, because it's a second wing change, I guess, and he is pretty close, and he looks from the inside. He's forcing URL Ethan into a mistake, and and he almost
And
loses. Yeah,
oh,
and
and
he.
just a train chain reaction of
Oh my God!
love
What
taps
is
there
that?
by these drivers.
He's
So,
just. He's just too impatient right now. He is deploying his battery. So this is the closest three-way battle right now, and
it
he
is
is again too close.
just a few car lengths separating these three drivers, and Chip Schema
Oh,
really
and he
holding.
almost chips his wing. I think his end plate is missing. And he again bangs the barrier. Okay, his end plates are okay, but you never know that he might give you a damage, not visual. And he is way back to make a move, and he rides the curb. All four wheels over the curb. Okay. So, okay.
Oh, and he looks to
We
make a move at one of the most
and
unorthodox
he
places and just makes contact and
so
loses himself out there.
is
And
his wing intact? His wing is intact. Is Ethan's wing intact?
yeah,
It
Ethan's
will
wing
be
should be
intact.
intact. That
Yeah.
contact was made with the side of his car, but Tanish clearly doesn't have the same level of patience that Ethan has shown
And he
behind
is.
chips, but uh, he might also be
So, easy level, do you
playing.
know what's the pit window for the hard test? 23 or 24
I think
laps?
lap 20 to 23 would be an ideal time to pit
Yeah, with no
on the
safety
hard
cars, they
tires.
might. And Ethan way too close to Chips again, and he needs to get the exit to overtake him, and he misses out on the exit, and Chips Shima gets a better exit out of the final corner and stays there. He gains like 4 tenths, 3 tenths on him. Ethan is gaining on Chips around the circuit, but he loses out on the final corner, which is a big loss for him. So, and we fix and yes, they are 5 tenths of apart from each other, the Ferrari boys. And Yash
But
is
I
letting
think
go of being fixed because it's a smart move. You don't. Oh, and he, what was that? It was pretty close, I guess. 21 for the undercut, and we have Fade Hayes saying hi. Hi, Fade Hayes. 21 is for the undercut, but undercutting who? You. Why will you undercut someone who is not near you? Okay, so still it's the closest battle. You are a Ethan and Chipchima, and you are a Ethan almost here and Chipchima. That could have ended pretty nasty, and so they are pretty close. Ethan needs to get his exit right here, and he again loses here. It's going on and on and on for like what, 10 laps or more than that.
Yep, I think pretty much ever since Ethan came out of the pits and has been on those tires. So 2012, how many laps have we done? 19 laps. So I think that's your number there. Probably, I'm not very sure.
Do you
But
think Chips and Ethan are like what going for the end, or they will pit another time? Huh?
I think it would be wise to box, but one of them does. If Ethan does, and on fresher tires, if he comes back, catches Chip's schema back, but again, overtaking would be a challenge. So it's a tricky
Yeah.
situation in Monaco,
We
and
can see Shadow Sword closing up on TVK, and TVK has lost a big ground, and he is missing a right hand plane, and we have yellow flag for Shadow Sword. He missed. I think he lost traction, and he is not having a wing. It's a disaster of a race for the Aston Martin. And TBK in the pits, he's going to change his end plate. It's a wise decision from him because Shadow Spot is now not pressurizing him, so he can pit for fresher. And he's going on for softs. What? Okay, I think he has used up all his tires from his allocation. So, how how will he take these tires to the end? Never know. And we have Yash in the pits. The hard tires are coming in for the pit stop, and Yash goes on the medium, the typical strategy. And then we have
let's see,
okay,
URL Basel is approaching to start finish straight. Where does
okay,
he come
Baswell.
out? Has undercut? Has he? He has undercut. So Basel, does he take the position? Oh yes, the
He
undercut does
did
work for
take the
URL.
position. It was way too close, but Yash can close up on fresh tires, but never know. It's, to be honest,
Now we've got two
pretty difficult
interesting
to.
battles to watch out for. So let's see what happens between these sets of drivers. Now on both of them on different tires as well, with fresh rubber beneath his
Okay, URL
Ferrari,
Ethan in the pits. URL Ethan in the pits. He's going
and
for
he
a
goes
fresher
for a set
rubber.
of mediums.
Yep. So it's the only battle. Baz versus Yash. Yash on cold tires. He needs to wait for a lap or two to like attack Baz now. Then we have what Fade is saying. We fix first. Yes, we fix is running first for now. He is a pit stop ahead of P2. So Baz versus Yash. Yash with softer tires and fresher tires. Do you think Baz can make a move in turn one in upcoming laps? And we have Azul in
Baz,
the
oh
pits going
yeah,
for fresh mediums. He's going for
alright,
the fresh
Azun,
mediums.
that will still, he will hold on to his position. But what will be interesting to see is if Chips decides to pit, because if he does, he needs to do so
Because
now, which he doesn't, and
this
he
is an
might just.
interesting battle because you can see Ethan on fresh tires only 18 seconds behind. He was 19. Now he is gaining a 10th per corner, I guess, which is decreasing way too much. So Ethan is labbed or it's a glitch. I don't know. This game is pretty horrific for me now. And Ethan goes fastest sector 3. I think he is going for the fastest lap. So it will be again Chip Shima versus URL Ethan, but Chip Shima will be on way old tires for now. And TBK sets the fastest lap 112.1. The race. Will
But
the
Chips,
win margin
I'm
be
not very
30?
sure if those tires can go to the end. I mean, these drivers might know better, but again, his struggle at the fag end of the race and meanwhile, he was just
Because
struggling
I
through
can
nowhere chicane.
see Ethan was 18 seconds behind, now he's only 15. He gained like a 3 second in a lap. Then we have Jin saying, will the win margin be 30 seconds? Yes, it can be. He might pull off a Sebastian Vettel in Singapore He's just coasting. He's not even pushing right now, and he's gaining time on Baz and Yash because Baz and Yash are under pressure from each other. They are gaining and gaining, and Ethan is labbed. Okay, Ethan is labbed. So, do
Yep,
you
Ethan
think
is.
yeah, VFX will let Ethan unlap because unlapping here is a pain because you will ghost through the leader and leader will get distracted and he might crash. So, you we should play it safe. Then we have Yash and Baz pretty close again. Yash on fresher and warmer tires. Do you think what's this? Won't be ever 30 seconds.
And Yash
Tires will
looking to
start.
make a move. He just looked for peek down on the inside, but nothing doing there for him on this occasion. Meanwhile, I think if Ethan has that extra bit of space as compared to V6's old tires, he can look to unlap himself, and because that might just be the case for him to catch up to Chip Schema, who I think is going to take those hearts to the end of the race.
Yeah, he might catch up to Chipschima, but overtaking is hard. So Chipschima is betting on like not puncturing his tire and holding off URL Ethan. So it's a pretty lonely race for VFX, Azun, Chips for now, and TVK and Shadow Sword. And it's a pretty lonely race for us also because we have only, and I think Yash just uh, brushed the barrier out of that turn. I predict Ferrari 1 2. Wait, yeah, our prediction is not going that way, but yeah, you think Yash can make the move? I don't know because this is and what is it? This is a hard track to overtake, and both of these drivers are having pace. But Yash on softer tires might make the move in turn one if he gets a better exit. You just have to force another driver to a mistake to make a move here. So I don't think, and Yash is too close to Baz's gearbox. Is that the lapped car of Shadow Sword? Yes, it is.
Meanwhile, yes, is this. Oh, Basil also just losing his focus for a moment there and coming rather close to the walls inside that tunnel. But now Basil will also probably get the DRS assist from the lapped car of Shadow Sword ahead. Not sure where the detection line is, but he might just not get it anymore.
Yeah, cause Shadow is letting through the leaders. He's not risking it by ghosting through the leaders.
And
And
he
Shadow in the
goes
pits
into the pits
again.
and probably
I think
retiring as
he
well.
is retiring. Yep. It's a frustrating race for him.
Meanwhile,
Is he
Yash
retiring?
Gosalia
No,
is
he
still
is. No,
behind.
he is in for a wing change.
Alright, so also I
So the
think
gap between
Ethan.
URL Ethan and Chips Chima has reduced to 2.8 from 19 seconds. So
Yep, indeed, and it brings me back to what I said earlier. And now he is on pressure rubber, but he still is behind him. So, and Chip Schema, not sure. He still those. It's a big ask out of those tires. But now I believe Ethan might just be able to mm, take the grip advantage to his liking, both because those hard tires must be really worn by now. Look how close he is. I think he would look to make a move in this hairpin section. He is, but why is he?
okay,
Oh,
okay. Did he just park his car on the curb?
no,
He just parked his car on the curb. Oh my God, Ethan, no,
I think
you
his
just
he just had a Charles Leclerc moment from another corner at the hairpin where his rear just got
okay.
stuck
He is
there.
still
But
having time to catch up to it. So you never know. You never know.
Yep, he does have a lot of time and he has made several attempts to get past that Alfa Romeo and he is close. It just took one sector for him to get back behind that those
And
rare tires. Oh,
those soft, yeah, those
but
soft
Chip
tires are
Schema is
just
not willing
way
to
too faster.
yield, and those medium tires. He's on fresh mediums, and those hard tires really posing a big problem for URL Ethan, who is
And
kissing the
he
Alfa
is,
Romeo there, or the revs of the Alfa Romeo. But
and
I
he's
think
not
that's
going
how
for the
it
move
is.
again.
Probably Hush, maybe these are the choice of words you were talking about earlier as well, but it is what it is.
It is
Facts
what it
don't
is, but
lie.
let's see. Let's see Ethan making a move in Novel chicane. Do you think he can do a Max Verstappen? No, he can't. He is aiming for
He
doing a
is
Max
looking
Verstappen,
for the.
and they go side by side in that corner,
Oh, he
and it's
contact.
Ethan as taking the P5 from Chip Chima with his brilliant defending, but his tires gave up. So it's the battle is over.
Yep, finally Ethan on those fresher set of tires.
And we have chips in the pits, so he knows Ethan overtook him, so it's no matter staying out and having a puncture. So he's going for the fastest lap, I guess, going on the softs. And we
Now
have
the
Baz
question
and
is,
Yash
can
closing
the
in.
other Ferrari do what Ethan did to
Yeah,
Alfa Romeo? But he is being there
no, but
behind.
Yash won't like risk it because Baz is having a 3 seconds. So why will you risk a move? And Baz's light is blinking. Okay.
Alright, that's
This is
interesting.
pretty
So,
interesting.
yeah, irrespective. So, if he holds back, he might just get that P2 from Fazil. Fastest lap, alright. So, fastest lap is with Tanish.
EPK on the socks. Okay, easy level board. How many wing changes do you think happened in this race?
How many wing
Any
changes?
predictions? Yeah.
Farmer,
Any assumption?
I think Shadow Sword might have had. Oh, there's a yellow flag for an Aston Martin of Shadow Sword who has had a wing change again. He's going to have a wing change again, probably. And
Okay. Okay, easy level. Just assume how many wing changes happened.
hmm, I'm going to go for 7 or 8.
You're going. Okay, let me count. We have had 11 wing changes with Shadow Sword going for another. That makes it 12. 12 wing changes. That is 12 into 400k. That is way too much. Oh my god, who was that? Ethan lapping. No. Yes, that was Ethan lapping. Shadow Sword. If a driver completes up till lap 37, they are guaranteed points as it's 90% race done. So, okay, Ethan almost loses his rear end.
And
Shadow
Shadow
Sword in the
Sword
pits
getting
with the
yet another penalty.
penalty.
Yeah,
With this kind of penalties, he might even disqualify. So, better watch out, Shadow. You never know. This game is pretty. Okay, I won't say it, otherwise EA will just not let me join game any lobby. So Yash has backed off from Baz's
yeah,
rear
because
end
I
because
saw his car ghosted and he doesn't have a right end plate. So that is not the
okay,
best of
okay,
news for Yash,
okay.
and
This
this
is
might invite
yeah.
Basel to pull a gas and probably get a cushion for his 3 second time penalty. Let's have a look at. Yep, he has 3 seconds of time penalty.
Okay, this is pretty interesting right now because Yash might drop off because of his end plate, and Baz need to push way too much. So Baz with older tires, and the tire situation is pretty similar right now. So you never know. Okay, this is pretty interesting. The last 4 laps are going to be way interesting.
Yep, Yash
Do you
Kosalia
think
is losing a bit of time there. He's lost a few tenths to Basel on this occasion, and though he doesn't have a lot of threat behind. Azun is 10 seconds behind and closing in considerably. So that is something to watch out for. And meanwhile, Ethan a bit too far away to pose any kind of problem for Yash Kosalia right now
so?
as we
The
fix.
potential threat is only Azun if he loses way too much time because it's Monaco. You always drive 50-50 wings, so a little bit of wing can just
Yeah,
okay,
but
what is this? Why?
Azun is pulling more than a second a lap right now, and but he
Okay,
has
the gap
five
has
laps to
increased to
go.
2 seconds. Baz is pushing and pushing and pushing, and we have Shadow Sword's car impeding Yash. So he has lost a second at 2.1. 2.1. It's still 2.1. And Azuna is also closing in. It's 8.9 from 10, I guess. 10 seconds. So he gained a second and he lost a second. So let's see. It's gonna be interesting last 3 laps.
Yeah,
And Baz's
I'll be
light is
right back.
all again. Okay, Baz's light is again blinking. So this and Yash goes below 3 seconds. Yash needs to gain the time back to get the 1-2 for the Ferrari. Oh no. Another car, another team losing out on P2 due to an end plate. I have seen it. I have seen it somewhere. And Shadow Sword's car ghosting in of Baz. So we might consider a report or two incoming for Shadow Sword because of ghosting through the leaders, but you can't do anything here because there's no space to give space. So okay, Yash is 3 tenths behind P2 as you say now 2.8. No, it's 3.3 only.
But Azun has
So
caught up big time, so now 6 seconds is the gap and 3 laps to go for
and I
Azun.
heard a wall scrape. I heard a wall scrape from someone. Was it Baz? No. Was okay. It was Baz. It's Baz. And he's missing a right hand blade. Oh my god, what is
Alright,
happening?
things are rather
Okay.
interesting here yet again now. They are at that same equation now, both these drivers, but let's see what happens. If is Yash is definitely closing in now.
Gene. And this brings Azun in the scene as he is closing in. We might see a large and Baz is getting impeded by Shadow Sword and Aston Martin. Okay. This might be pretty frustrating for him. Okay, we are seeing. Okay, he is riding the curbs. Then we have said in the chat saying 50-50, could be 46-48. Personal preferences said we. With that much high downforce, I still lose traction, so skill matters. And we fix in the pits for the soft. He is going for the fastest lap. He is going for the fastest lap. He is not doing a Sebastian Vettel. He's going for the fastest lap. So let's see. Yash is closing in. He's 3.1 behind 2.9. Baz is losing way too much time because of that. And he is having a loose rear end. So
Now, and Yash
Azun
has
is also closing in.
got all that time back,
Yep.
and Azun is
So
probably running out of laps and has probably run out of laps uh, to be able
Yeah,
to
he did.
pose any kind of challenge to both Basil and Yash, but there's still
Oh,
1.5 laps to
okay.
go.
VFX just pits for a new fresh set of swords and he's still 22 seconds ahead of Basil. Okay, that's pretty dominating. And by the way, VFX dominance could bore fans. Yes, I said it. What kind of league is it where only 8 drivers finish? Hey, Adrian, it's Monaco, man. You, it's a pretty hard race to be honest. I raced myself yesterday and I couldn't finish a lap or two. So I think you are in the league, so you should drive a race for with us. So we
Well,
have
and you've
Yash.
just got 13 drivers participating due to the fear of Monaco, so that's still more than half the grid of finishing the race. Or rather, now 1 lap to go, I can safely say that hopefully. But yep, Monaco has proven to be rather difficult for a lot of drivers.
Okay, we have a zone 3.2.7. If he like what he gains another tenth or two, he might get P4. Baz will get pushed down to P4.
Yep, that.
Azun might be on the podium. Yeah,
Yep, and looking at
he
the
is.
current situation, he is poised for that podium. So he just has to make sure he doesn't accumulate any kind of a track extension warning, and he is just good to go.
Please don't use yourself as a benchmark at the
Oh,
judge.
and
And
meanwhile,
Baz.
we have missed VFix crossing the line. Anyway, VFix setting
Okay.
that fastest lap of the race as well, and crossing the line. I think just probably a lap or two away from taking that grand slam. He came out in P2 after his pit. So
Yeah.
anyway, a good drive from him. Meanwhile, Basel finishing P2 on track, but that is going to turn into P4 as a
And
Ferrari
it's a
1-2.
Ferrari P12. Let's go.
Yep, and
In
as
Monaco.
soon from the back of the grid taking the final
Yeah,
podium spot.
P3 in Monaco. Kudos
Uh,
to him. Kudos to him.
And
And
Ethan,
real life Scuderia Ferrari. Take notes.
yep, I hope they just tune in sometime to watch our stream so that your message can get to them, Shrikant. But anyway, P5 is where Ethan is going to finish after a long fought race with Chip Schema, who finishes behind him in P6, I believe. And meanwhile, Tanishq and Shadow Sword rounding up the remaining finishers. I think I'm not very sure. Anyway, we saw him miss cross the line, but let's enjoy VFX taking the podium steps and dancing his way right there.
Okay. So it is VFX Cutter taking. Okay, it's not on your screen, I guess.
Yep,
Wait.
yep. Why don't you
Okay.
go take us through the
Yeah.
results?
So we have VFX Cutter taking a dominant win in Monaco in a Ferrari. Miracle, miracle. Then we have Yash Gosale rounding up a 1-2 for Ferrari. Ferrari are dreaming right now. Then we have Azun taking P3 from the back of the grid, P13. Then we have Basil unfortunately losing out on that P2 spot with that 3-second penalty and is missing and plate. Then we have URL Ethan and Chipchima who fought way too hard. They were on the stream for the 90% of the time, I guess, and Yari Lethan having a decent race and finishing P5 and Chipchima finishing P6 after defending like a lion for I don't know whom, but he did defend. Then we have TBK P7, then we have Shadow Sword P8, then we have Viper Speed, Redstone, Jishnu, Viom, and Abhishek as our DNFs. So, uh, it was again a chaotic race in the end, as we saw like P2 jumbling left and right. So, What are your views on that easy level?
Yep, I think good. It was a good race with some undercuts and overcuts coming into picture. It was interesting to watch some interesting battles there for a good part of the race. But Shrikant, why don't you invite all our podium finishers?
I did invite.
All right, too fast, too
We
furious
have Yash
indeed.
with us.
But hopefully the others. We just give a couple of minutes before we start. Otherwise,
Okay, we have Azun not joining, so we are waiting on the VFix,
all
and
right.
VFix has joined us.
Yep.
So,
She can't take it away with the interviews.
magnificent P1 and P2 for the Ferrari boys. Yes, let's start up with you. So, how was your race and your fight with Baz and your fight back up for the P2? And let us through your race, please.
It was quite a happening race actually. I had a very bad qualifying. I was up by about 5 tenths or so, and then lost it on the last sector. So a little gutted with that, but then decided to play the gamble on the hard tires at the start, thinking that if I jump someone, then I can just dictate the pace. Um, it was pretty decent because I mean Vyom in front of me just spun and crashed out, but then it is pretty easy to keep Baz behind. It wasn't easy to pull away from him, but after a certain point, those mediums when it started dying out, I did pull a little bit of a gap, and then I was just hesitant as to when I should box for the mediums, and till then, VFix also pulled up alongside me, so I let him go because I mean he was not my race at any point. But yeah, then came on mediums was I mean I was a little cautious coming out of the pits because of the pit lane cut. A little more aggression there, and I would have had Basil there and there itself. But I don't know if you all saw that, but it was quite close when he came out of the pits.
Yeah, it was
But
close. We saw that. You all were side by
but
side. Yeah.
but yeah, overall, then I saw that he had the penalty, so I just decided to stick behind him within a second, which wasn't the right thing to do because I started losing front tire grip and my tire started heating up. I hit the wall and lost an end plate for that. Um, and for Monaco, what it is, and it doesn't get any safety cars. I was out of fuel at the end of the race also, almost a lap down, I think, on fuel, while Azun was really hot on my tail. But nonetheless, Basil, I think, had a couple of moments, hit his wing, and then he got a 6 second penalty at the. I mean, he got another corner cut penalty right at the end. So, all in all, good result. I mean, Forza Ferrari. Something I don't say much or much often. Something nobody says often, but yeah. Congrats to VFix and Baz for the podium. VFix was just on another level today, so damn. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. So, congrats on the P2, Yash. Easy level, but do you have any questions for Yash?
No, great drive. I think race summed up pretty well. A lot of action there. So congratulations on P2 and 1-2 Ferrari.
Thanks, bro.
So, we are moving on to a race winner, VFX Cutter. So, congrats on a dominant win. Take us through your lonely race,
I mean,
which
I
wasn't
prefer to
as
take you through
epic.
qualifying because that was much more entertaining
Yeah,
because Redstone
please take us through
was
that. Yeah.
was right there on his lap. I think when the first run came out, I was a bit disheartened, but I was talking to Malav on my stream as well, so that 6 tenths was not representative because his logic adds an extra second to your lap time. So I knew that it would be a shootout between Redstone and me. Uh, Luckily, on my last run, the game was kind to me at the timer line, and it gave me that 110.051 over his 6-4. And then in the last run, I just got held up by. I think you would know all about. I just got held up by chips.
Yeah.
You would know all about holding up, especially with an Alfa Romeo. So yeah, luckily Redstone also messed up, and yeah, after that to lose from Pole in Monaco. I mean, a team has done it just last year, not even on the podium.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a rarity. So yeah, I was just keeping Redstone with me. He was actually faster than me, I would say, until he crashed. Um, After that, just trying to create a gap because I wanted to go for a fastest lap. Also wanted to try and see whether I could win by the biggest margin in the league ever. So towards the end, that was the only thing that was fueling me. In fact, in towards the middle of that, towards the middle of my hard pass stint, I was just doing I was doing fuel mapping because I just wanted to see how much you through each individual corner where you lift and coast, how much you lose, how much fuel you gain or lose. This was future references. Uh, yeah, and then I just pit at the end, set the fastest lap. I thought that would be difficult to beat, but luckily, low fuel is low fuel. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it.
Okay. Congrats on your P1, and I would like to say one thing. We fixed dominance code both fans. So, yeah, that's it. So, easy level bot,
As
do
long
you
as
have
you
any
don't deduct
question?
anything from me.
Yeah, that's a cheeky statement right there. Easy level, do you have any questions for our race winner today?
Mm, no, no, I think storytelling was pretty much on point. No more further questions. Congratulations, VFix and Ferrari boys, for that one too.
Yeah, I'm glad that you're here on comms as well. You did solo comms last time we had Iron in Monaco, because the other guy, the regular guy, hates you, and he has a deep
Yeah, of
regret
course, you
for
didn't
your comms
Yeah,
skills as
do
miss
well.
that
out on
regular
that.
guy. Get better.
Yes, yes, cry.
Anyway, that was
And
pretty much a good race around the streets of Monaco. And Shrikant, it was nice to give you company on the comms box and make a comeback after a long time. So until next
thanks,
time,
Easy, and
whenever
same
that
to
is,
you.
yep, and off we go.